Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. I thought I'd give you an update on the parquet floor progress. If you're following me on Instagram, it won't be any surprise that I am doing reclaimed parquet flooring like my dad has done previously. So I thought I'd show you some pictures and videos of my dad's first to show you what it's going to look like. So here is some of the teak. This one here is the oak. So my house is going to be a mixture of oak and teak. And we got some oak that a school was throwing out, so we're going to use that in the two big rooms. And then my dad had some teak left over, so obviously I had to steal that. And I'm going to put that in the hall and the front room. I love the teak. I think it's so beautiful, and you just need to varnish it. You don't need to add like any colour. Over to my dad on what he thinks about the whole thing. Doing it all over again.
It's a nightmare. It's an absolute nightmare. But it's only that I'm doing it for my gorgeous daughter.
That's not what you said a sec ago.
I wouldn't do it for anyone else. You know that.
You're only saying that because the camera's on.
You what?
You're only saying that because the camera's on.
Yeah.
Look at this gorgeous daughter there. Hi, Sue. First thing we had to do was sort through all the parquet and see what we had. Everything was in bags when we got it from the school, so we had to go through everything, check if the pieces were damaged or if they had any holes in them, put them to one side. Also, we had a load of pieces that were shorter than the others, so we also had to put those to one side. And we put them in a separate section as well, because I think I might need the shorts to do the porch and stuff. So we're just trying to make sure that we have enough. And that's what we're doing, and we're putting them into these crates, and then we'll be able to get a count on them, see how much we have and see if we have enough for the house. So then we brought them out to the front garden to load up my dad's van. Very lucky that we have my dad's van, otherwise we would not have been able to transport any of this. We probably couldn't have even gotten the parquet without getting transport for it because his van was full. So shout out to my mum as well, because we did a full day's work with the three of us and we loaded it all up. And then when we counted it, we realised that we have enough for what we need. So there was 2,600 boards. So an awful lot to clean, but here we go. Next up, I had to demo all the floor that was already in the house. So I just got a chisel and a crowbar and a hammer just to remove all the current floor. A lot of it was laminate, and then the sitting room was carpet. So that was the porch, so that had laminate on top of those original tiles. And here I am ripping out the laminate in the kitchen. It was at this point I decided to question all my life decisions. I'm doing this after work. It was exhausting. And here as well, like those tiles there are the heaviest things I've ever lifted. It's so true what those Instagram videos say. It's like, if there's no one else to help you, you will get it done. Those were so heavy, like insane. So this weird angle is the hall. The worst room to do was actually the porch. I didn't film it because there was no way to film it so small. But it was just so small, I couldn't get like a chisel in. Like, it was just so hard to get a start on it. Everywhere else was pretty straightforward. Just use a chisel and a hammer to get it away from the wall in some way, or else used my crowbar. And it actually wasn't that hard. As soon as you got one piece up, the rest of it came up really easily because it all just slots into place. So it was actually fine. It was, yeah, as I say, the porch was the worst. Here we're ripping up the carpet, and Shane's with me here, so I have help with this one, and it was great to have him because it was just way too heavy. That being said, I just did lift the tiles by myself, so I probably could do it by myself, but it was too awkward. I really needed help. And there was all this gross sand that came out. I don't know what it was, where it came from, but it was like we were at the beach and it was quite vile. So Shane gave it a good hoover after that. So after that, we brought all the old flooring to the skip, and then my dad was able to come back with the van and unload everything we had loaded in at the weekend. So it just felt like we'd seen these boxes only the other day, because we had only seen them the other day. But yeah, very lucky that my dad came here after work, I might add, to unload all of this stuff. So we had counted it. There was like 2,600. He was thanking me for his coffee there, standing in front of the camera. Yeah, we counted it, 2,600 boards, so that should be enough for the middle room and the kitchen. So that's both going to be oak, and then we're hoping we will have enough teak for the hall and the front room, but we still actually don't know for sure, but we'll see how we get on. Next up is to clean the parquet. By this I mean we need to clean the tongue and groove so that they slot in together. I'm using a Benchgrinder with this wire brush attachment. My dad will probably comment telling me I've gotten this wrong, so comment away, Dad. But yeah, so this is what I'm using, and my dad set me up. It's attached to a board, so I can just put it on this workbench that was in the house anyway. Here are all of the boxes. This was incredibly daunting, as you can imagine, and it's an incredibly messy, disgusting job. So I was doing it after work, and then I'd have to go straight in and shower and like leave my clothes downstairs because they were just so filthy. Anyway, here are the boards. This is the tongue and groove situation that I'm talking about. So you'll see that they're very dirty on the bottom, but that doesn't really matter because we've got super strong glue. But the sides need to be clean so that they slot in together perfectly. So you can see they're not too dirty because they are slotting in. It's just there's a little bit of a gap. So we're hoping to just make sure that they all slot in perfectly to get that perfect herringbone pattern. So I'm going around each side, the top, bottom and the left and right side, just to make sure that the tongue and groove are clean. They're the only areas that I'm cleaning. I'm not cleaning the top of the wood or the bottom of the wood. We'll have to see if that needs to be done later. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. But anyway, I learned after this that I should be wearing a hair cap thingy, shower cap, because my hair was getting destroyed, and this stuff is disgusting. It's like bitumen and tar. I don't know, it's totally gross, and it'll definitely kill you if you don't wear a mask. So definitely wear a mask if you're going to do this. This was painful. I did get a lot quicker after time, but yeah, this is me just taking all the ones I've cleaned and putting them into a box so I know what ones I've done. My dad is certainly much faster than me at this because he's a pro at this stage, but yeah, as I say, you do get quicker as you go along. My TV show of choice while doing this was Love is Blind, the latest season. Could not recommend less. It was terrible. At first I was like, this is amazing drama in the pods and stuff, and then after a while you realise that there was like 2 couples left, and it was terrible. Like, how can you make a show with 2 couples? Anyway, I'll say it till I die. Married at First Sight Australia is the best reality TV. That and Below Deck. So like, Love is Blind, they suck. Like, what are they doing? I feel like they're just terrible at making TV right now. Anyway, they keep making seasons. I'm going to keep watching. You know, here we are. Here's an up-close shot of me cleaning the parquet. As you can see, I was sitting, but I couldn't really get under the desk thing, so I had to stand. My back is in so much pain doing this. Yeah, like, not good. I don't have a great back in general. So once we got a good bit cleaned, my dad helped me as well. I don't even think I had any. Maybe I did have footage of it and I didn't even notice. Anyway, here is the OSB that we're going to be laying on the floorboards. You can't go straight onto the floorboards because they expand and contract in the heat and the cold, so they would move over time. So we got 18mm OSB, and then we're just removing all the things that are going to be in the way, like skirting boards, saddle boards, all that jazz. Here I'm clearly slagging my dad because he's using such a big saw to do something so small. But listen, it's quicker than the Multitool, I guess. So I'm learning how to use like all types of new tools, and I just feel like a total tradesman now. Tradeswoman, apologies. Anyway, here he is cutting the saddle board because the man who lived here was a carpenter, so like everything is so well made and so well fixed to things, which is not great news for us because it's very difficult to get them up, and the saddle boards are like totally secured into the floor and like made to fit the doors, so they were difficult to get up. So yeah, we're taking off all, you can see the chaos here, taking off all the skirting boards because we want to go right up to the wall with the parquet, so then we can put the skirting boards on top afterwards. We're going to get new skirting boards because there was different skirting boards in every room, so it just made more sense. Here's the OSB, the first sheet down. And we just laid like full sheets where we could. That's the royal we, I should say. It's my dad laying it. There he is. We still were so full of the joys of this project at this point. Also, we had to cut all of the door frames and the doors because again, we want to put the floor all the way up to the wall, so we want these to sit on top of it. So I'm using a multi-tool with a blade for cutting wood and plastic, so that's what I'm using to cut the door frame out. And then I used it to also cut this door, but the rest of the doors we are taking off their hinges and using the saw to cut them. It's just easier. This is the absolute best part when you cut through and you get to take it out. Very exciting, very satisfying. I saw my dad do this loads of times and I was delighted to try this myself. Here's my dad cutting this cabinet door. This is just like a little cabinet under the stairs. So this wasn't a solid door, so it was grand to do with the multi-tool. And there it is out. Bit wonky, I'd say. Actually, I don't think it is. It looks perfect. But yeah, grand. So just to explain, we're using a piece of OSB and then a parquet board to get our height right while the doors are on, because obviously the floorboards are different everywhere, so we need to see how it's going to sit on it. And then we're using the multi-tool again to cut it. And here it is falling off again. Amazing. So when we were cutting the doors from the kitchen to the middle room, they just totally sort of fell apart. My dad assures me we can fix this with a bit of glue. Like, it's looking bad, so I don't know. Anyways, next we had to screw down the OSB board. We've got to put in a screw every foot. So, yeah. Did this for many days. It's exhausting. It's exhausting. And painful and monotonous and boring. But this was my job. And I'd rather do that than cutting the OSB with the big scary saw. So this is my job. Probably use like 1,200 screws, something along those lines, and probably have more to put in currently when I'm recording this. This is my dad cutting the OSB on his very professional workbench. He's using his circular saw with a guide, and he's balancing it on my bin and my future stove. So we are professionals. Safety. Wear your goggles. Don't be like my dad. Well, he's got glasses on, but yeah, still. So yeah, we're just cutting small pieces here, but you'll see him putting down a big piece in a second. I asked my dad what he thinks people will think of his work setup. This is his response. Moving on. Anyways, here we are laying down the OSB in the kitchen. We realised because we went with 18mm OSB, because that's what the internet told us to go with, the kitchen cabinets are going to be too low, so we're going to have to hire them up, we think. I'm eventually changing the workshop anyway, so it's not a big deal that we're going to loosen it and stuff, but still a pain in the hole. Really, it's work we don't need to be doing. Much rather just focus on the other stuff, but we'll see what happens. My partner's sister is fostering puppies, so I just thought I'd put this photo of a puppy in. How cute is he? Anyways, back to the chaos, and that's just a little break from the chaos in case you were getting a little bit overwhelmed. Here's some more footage of me screwing in some screws, because I know this is the content people want to see. As you can imagine, my skills with the screwdriver have improved greatly. I also got a better system to make sure that I wasn't missing any areas of the OSB, so it's nice and secure. So here are the rooms with the OSB down. You can sort of feel the ceiling coming in on you because we went with the 18mm OSB. I really think this was overkill, but this is what the internet told us to do. The internet might have led us astray. Here are all the screw holes, by the way. Yeah, so I think the internet has led us astray and caused us a lot of heartache, because not only are the ceilings feeling more sort of on top of you, but also like it comes with different problems, like the having to take a lot more off the doors than we would have before. Also just like issues with the kitchen that I mentioned previously, and then issues with like rods being like close to the ground and stuff like that. So yeah, a few things to think about. So this is called the perfect piece of scrap. Put that in. I just gave this a bit of a shave with the Multitool. How good is that? Class. So that is everything we've gotten done so far. I hope you will subscribe to see how we get on and see if we will ever finish this project. Thanks so much for watching.